So why is breeds not a dependency?
So breeds, as in this breeds right here, is not a dependency. I guess this is kind of misnamed right here. Breeds right there. So let's get like, we could call this breeds like API breeds or something like that. There we go. So that could have been confusing to you before. It doesn't depend on breeds because this breeds is not used anywhere inside of this use effect right here. It's not read from anywhere inside of this effect, right? Now set breeds is, right? So that's why this is in here. But API, I just want you to keep in mind this breeds and that breeds are separate. They're different things, right? So this is never used inside of use effect, so therefore it's not dependent on. Yeah.
Was there any problem with component did mount, unmount, those lifecycle methods? Why did hooks get created?
There's like a, well, okay. There's a belief that hooks are simpler than having to learn the life cycle of components and having to understand like context and some other things like that. And you can notice I'm being non-committal with my language. It's because I have my doubts about which of these APIs is going to be for the better. And maybe we'll address that a bit later when we talk about class components. It's probably the better so that everyone can kind of get on the same page here. But the short answer to that is people think that this is easier. And then I'll teach you both and you can be the judge of which one you want to use. But no, there's no inherent problem with class components. There's no limitations. Actually, class components can do more than hooks can.
Currently.
They have plans to fix the gaps, but as of right now, there's still some things that hooks can't do. So one more thing that we should call out that we did here. So if I go and select like American Eskimo dog and then I switch to cat, notice that it very quickly switches that back to be the default option, right? And that's something that we did here with this empty string. But I just like, normally it's just kind of understood, but I just want to call out the fact that as soon as I call setBreed here to be empty string, because of the way that React is structured and the way that we're thinking about this, as soon as this is set, this is synced to this animal dropdown down here, or rather the breed dropdown, that as soon as I sent that to be an empty string, it immediately updates breed right here, right? So those are connected together. We've plumbed that together. So now it's really cool, as long as we're making sure that we're calling setBreed in the right places, that it cascades that effect down to all the places that are depending on that information, right? So that's the power of hooks and stuff like that, is as long as you're playing by the React rules, you get this propagation of state for free. So I want to tell you that use effect and use state are like the two primary hooks that you're going to use, right? That's going to cover about, I'm going to guess 90% of your use cases. So use state obviously being most common, use effect also being quite common, and then maybe like use ref occasionally, and then there's a long tail of other hooks that you may never have to know. So we'll definitely still talk about them. We'll get into it in intermediate React. I think we'll still talk about ref in here, but that'll be it for the React lifecycle and the React hooks and things like that.